Hi guys, today let's talk about my circle orchard. Last year I planted my first trees. That was in April. So this is a 1 year that has been passed since I planted them. Lots of the trees I planted in April, as I said, and the rest ones I planted last fall. But not all the fruit plants are good enough. As for the fruit trees, some of them are frostbitten. It's not this year, but that was last year. We planted, for example, this sweet cherry. We planted last April, but as a result, it was frostbitten in last May. So, as you see, there are some buds that appeared, but no growth at all. So what we need now, if we try to save this plant up to the next season, there is one small branch that starts to grow, and what we need is to try to make it a long stem in future. And this part we need to cut down. The same I can say about two more plants, about the plum and wild apricot. Then, according to my scheme, we have two trees, and in between the trees, we have one fruit shrub. In this case, this is a red currant, but you can see that all of the leaves, practically the main part of the leaves, are sunburned. This is a problem that has been risen since I bought these fruit shrubs online this spring. It was March, and as you know, we can plant fruit shrubs in my garden. It's on for last in late April or in May. But uh, this is a reason that I decided to leave them at home, and with time, lots of the leaves appeared at home, and these leaves are fragile and they're not adapted to the surrounding atmosphere. So, as a result, when I planted them outside, they were sunburned. So three of the fruit shrubs I bought this spring from a local gardener, and they look fine because their leaves are not big enough and they can adapt easily to all these changes, to all the weather changes. And now this is how the one section between two trees look like. There is one tree and the second tree and a fruit shrub in between. And we have two sections here. As you see, for spring beauty, I planted some crocus bulbs. You, so the east place is for crocus bulbs. They bloomed in early April. They bloomed white. In the center, we have some tulip bulbs, so red tulips, and some muscaries and the cornice. This is all for the spring beauty. If we mean the whole gardening season, so we have some ornamental onions here. They bloom purple and they grow fast. And diagonally, we need to plant some sage. So we have one plant of a sage. I replanted it from my central flower bed. At the beginning of the season, the sage looks like this. So we need one more plant diagonally, as this sage is a perfect space filler. And what we need throughout the whole gardening season is to fill the space in between the trees and fruit shrubs. And I think that the sage would can do it. But there is no growth here. I planted several seeds in each hole throughout the whole circle orchard, but nothing appeared. So, what I need to do this season is to grow at home some seedlings of this sage. I planted these seeds at home and I have my first results. And I think it won't be easy enough to grow 50 plants at home and then to transplant them outside in this circle orchard. But this is the only thing that I can do. And this is the second plant that was frostbitten last May. I cut the stem down, and there is one branch that would be our future plum tree. As you see, this area looks fine because the tulips are blooming and muscaries are blooming, and now they are blooming evenly because last week it wasn't the same as this part. The part with the fencing is the sunniest place in our circle orchard, and these tulips planted started to bloom first. And as a result, the rest part of the circle orchard was not blooming, and that wasn't the scheme that I wanted to see. But now, practically all the tulips are blooming, and I think it looks good. It's just the first season, and we need to wait until the tulip bulbs grow and mature. And as for the trees, we can say the same. So this spring I tried to pull out all the weeds in between the trees, but they start to appear again and again. And some of the trees are blooming, and this is a peach tree, the only tree in my garden that has light pink blooms. They are not white, but they are pink ones. And this is amazing. And what I need to do to avoid the weeds, I think that we need to get more pine needles as we mulched here around the root balls, and I think that this method would help to avoid lots of the weeds and to avoid erosion and sunburn, something like this. What I need to do this season is to try to avoid the weeds along the fence line. As you see, there is a strip along the fence in two sides. So this place, I think that it would be shaded with the rise of our trees and according to the day scheme of the sun and the fencing. I think that would be there would be a shade and that would be a perfect place for my Hosta collections. What I need to do is pull out the weeds, all of the weeds here along the fence line, and then to plant hostas and in between some ground covers. I think that that would look fine. and there wouldn't be any weeds in future along the fencing because it's quite difficult to get rid of them in this place. So this is an April look at my orchard garden, at my circle orchard. I think that in a month it will look better.